I don't know that this is an improvement. Oh, fuck. What's this bit of plastic here? So that's how I natively wake up with this thing. Well, at least the side parts are covered, right? I had another epiphany. Swimming caps. Imagine if you just used one every time you did your hair. It got covered in glue and you just threw it away. I think they're too expensive. And it would be bad for the environment. But if you could somehow recycle them. My thought was, there's probably some kind of medical thing that comes in a box. They might be expensive, I don't know, but you get a lot of them. Like, for example, rubber gloves. I don't know if you could cut out a rubber glove and make that useful to yourself. Any kind of headband type thing that's medical, maybe, I don't know. These things usually come in a box for 100 or whatever. Well, have I overheated yet? No, not yet. No overheating. Feels secure, feels like a hat. Not even like a hat. I can't really feel that I'm wearing it. Really, I mean, I sort of can, but it feels snug and secure, but I can tell you, if it didn't feel secure, I would feel very paranoid. Walking down the street, I probably might already feel paranoid walking down the street with this thing. I used a lot of glue putting this thing on. I don't think natural hair would behave this way, would it? I guess mine would, because I've got curly hair, but this is what it's like to wake up like this. I mean, it's about a natural amount of pressure to put on this. You know what? It's because maybe it's because it's not wet. This fluid head, I don't think it can work on its own. I think it needs ball head, because I need to often, maneuver it like this, and this one only wants to go rigidly like that or like that. And also the screw that connects the... I feel like the beard is suffocating me more than the hairpiece. But, I certainly can't give myself a haircut when you're that high up. I would probably want to remount the phone in the phone holder right in front of my face in the mirror. I'll get back to it. I'll have a think about the head cap things for gluing and potentially shaving. I think if you are going to have a shave zone template, it needs to be useful for both shaving and gluing. It maybe needs to be stretchable, but maybe not. I mean, you saw how much pain it, how far indented into my head when it was, hard. And now it's got glue all over it. headband. Headband with a lot of hold, or a lot of headbands. Headbands that you can throw away. It seems like that should be just normal roll of tape, right? But that's not easy. A headband is easy. If it was a swimming cap, you would have to remake it every time. But then again, it might just be a matter of just cutting the top of it with scissors. If it was a glove, a rubber glove, I don't know. Wouldn't that just roll off yet? I don't know. It's too long. I've been trying to find some disposable latex thing. All I could ever find were gloves. I got one glove here in the house. It's torn there already. But I just wanted to see how stretchy it would go. Would it go around the head? Condoms are stretchy. Now that would just be, it'd end up in a skinny line. Condoms. They are very disposable though, but they've got individually wrapping. You just want to pull it out of the box. Doesn't matter if, I mean, it's a lot of wastage. But it's probably less wastage to use a condom than a glove, even if you were to pull the wrapper off. Let's spray my hair and I can see what I can do about this. Once my hair is done, I'll actually be able to walk down the street. I get the feeling that this hairpiece size and everything will solve that problem of me wanting to keep short sides and blending into the hairpiece. I could never do it when that front partial was sticking up like a little rooster hat. What are those parts of a rooster called? Is it a mane? I don't know. Oh, this is a different feel. I'm actually shocked about how bad this rig has been since I made all the modifications. Everything's just so loose, and even you tighten it, it just loosens again. Okay, I'm going to brush forward all the way from the back, all of it. No rear mirror required for this, I'll just see it over the horizon, I guess, for now. This is harder, it's definitely harder. It's my first time. Oh, I feel like I think I found the crown. Is it the crown? Are the hairs changing all directions there? I hope that crown doesn't become a problem. So the thing about this is, if I cut it too short, I won't have anything to grab to be able to even see. So if I lean forward, I'll have to I might have to do the back last. I'll start with what I can see. I'll have a mullet for a while till I can see the back. I'm going to headband off this back section and do it later. I also have to take into consideration people who have seen me and don't know I wear a hairpiece recently. This is why you want to dye your greys or do something like have a shave if you don't usually shave, because then it's like, there's something different about you. You know what I mean? There's that plastic sound back here. There you go, uniform 3-inch haircut. I don't know if that's something at the back. Probably a few strands here that need to be cut still. So I have some questions once I figure out what's going on with this and I get some proper visuals based on however I fix this thing. First of all, do I need to make a bigger hairpiece for the sake of the hairstyle at the back? Is it weird? Is it bumping up and then dropping off or some weird thing, right? This feels like this is the crown as designed by the stitches in the factory. Is that going to cause aesthetic issues? I'm just going to clean all this up and get back and put my glasses on and maybe have a look after I've had a coffee as well. See that lump? I'm pretty sure that's from the The good thing about gravity is that it makes these hairs wonderful over the imperfections on the sides. Now, just thinking about how Jack Kent and Santa Claus and maybe even Curtis, I think Curtis was wide as well, maybe like mine. They had very narrow hair pieces, but they might have flared out at the front because you wouldn't bald to just there, you would bald to there. The recessions, I mean. So I don't understand how you would end up with a skinny hairpiece. But they do, so there's something I'm missing there. I need better visibility and lighting and everything before I start messing with my face. But I am keen to get rid of this beard and attack whatever's crawling around on it. Right, I actually sort of almost feel like I've got a full head of hair again. So despite this area at the back and me having no backups of any kind for this, I think it's good. I also think that if I had not bleached the front, it would be a lot worse. Let me flip you around so you can get a better front hairline, which I know you all care about, perspective. Okay, so this is Lord Hair 0.03 UTS Ultra Thin Skin Poly hairpiece. This is the first time I've ever fitted one fully in terms of a full topper. So you can get some better perspective than I've given you with any partials. This hair has been cut to 3 inches uniformly, unless I missed a few spots. I will probably be dyeing the greys, and I will probably be dyeing the beard. Well, not dyeing it, I'll probably get rid of the beard. The front hairline has been bleached by me with using Schwarzkopf peroxide for 30 minutes. This is the original contour that came from the factory. Lord Hair actually cut off that little piece of plastic that comes around the front. So in the making of this, hairpiece, I simply cut out the back and sides. I left the front exactly as it came from the factory, except for the fact that I bleached the front roots for 30 minutes. Feels weird. I've spent hours looking at swimming caps, latex gloves, weather balloons, dishwashing gloves, condoms, all sorts of things to try to figure out the best way to make a shave zone stencil. Not just for shaving, but also for gluing. So you don't have to worry about getting glue on your hair if you do want to put glue directly onto your scalp. It's really hard. there's no such thing as a clear swimming cap. I've looked everywhere. It'd be perfect. Because then you could see where to trace it out. What I'm thinking is I might get a swimming cap anyway and just, I don't know, start by cutting a line down the middle and just stretching it into position. But I don't know, maybe I need to cut out a little oval shape and then just pull it down over your head. This haircut's no good. Maybe it'll look better when this grows out, but I don't want to grow it out. Maybe I just need to style the hair. How's the back and sides there? I ended up going with a hair dyeing cap. It's the only see-through thing that probably will maintain its shape. Right now I'm going to put some of this red one clay in my hair. This is just like what I used to use muck, but it's already kind of watered down. So it is clay, which is what I prefer, to give good hold and still maneuverability after it's already wet. It's not clean, it's kind of a dirty thing, right? Put it in my hair. The only clean hair product I can think of is really leave-in conditioner, but that has no hold properties. In order to have some hold, you've got to make your hair dirty. Look at these wounds from these things. It's just, the other ones that I've got just fall off my face. Now I do have a fat face, but I'm pretty sure I'll look better than having this orange beard. Got some light here, so I might as well use it. I was a fool to think that the fluid head of a camera tripod would stay. I mean, it's designed to be moved and then locked. With pan, you don't have to lock it because gravity doesn't force the camera to roll sideways off the world that way. It's only down tilt you've got to worry about. So tilt can maneuver, but then you've got to lock it. That's not friction based. I'm kind of lying to myself a little bit because I know a lot of these problems would be overcome by simply removing this 900 gram lighting rig and simply putting just a little phone holder, because a phone doesn't weigh anything, right? A phone would easily be able to be handled by all of this. Weighs much less than 900 grams, which is close to a kilogram, right? This little phone holder on its own, just plugged into the boom arm, no problem with maneuverability. I just wouldn't get the front-facing camera because the front-facing camera has no light on it. Whereas if I turn the camera around, I can actually turn, I'll show you the lighting from the actual camera, okay? Okay, so this is the light that comes with the camera on an iPhone 11. That's how much illumination I'm getting here. Alexa, turn off the bathroom. So this would give you some decent visibility, this light that's built into your phone. So you could eliminate a ring light and then you would have absolute maneuverability, but this doesn't exactly light it up nicely. I mean, look at this much lighting. I need to be able to see. Compared to this much lighting. Okay, so I'll just take a step back so you can see the light from the actual phone, and then I'll step into the ring light. This might be overkill, but I figured I wanted to get the job done properly. Unfortunately, properly means heavy. I don't think there'd be much of a problem putting this phone on some kind of swing arm and just making it stop in space anywhere I wanted it to. For my purposes, because I'm making a YouTube video, I need really to be able to see when I'm in frame. Don't panic. Okay, so I've got that Creative Clay from Red One in my hair. Creative Clay wax. I don't see what's waxy about it. It just seems like clay to me. I hammered this part back into here, which had been warped by the clamp, and I can't even rotate it to line up so I can put the pin back in, but it's so tight that I might never need to worry about putting that pin back in. If I ever decide to reassemble that and pull out the guts of the microphone stand. So even the maneuverability of this stand that you're in right now, this suction cup thing on the phone, is exactly what I want. Just smashed my phone. Why? Because the fucking screw, when you rotate anything that's held by a screw, it rotates off. That's why it was rotating at all. Do you understand why I complain so much? It's not about my personality being negative. It's just about my logic being sound. I have what's called common sense. Obviously I don't express it because life would be boring if I was doing it all the time. But when it comes to just getting the parameters set so you can live your life, I think they need to be solid. I don't like this hairstyle. I'm gonna put a bit of water in there maybe. Maybe I don't need to. Anyway, let's deal with this mess. I'm gonna use this one. This one does have a cord, but you need that much power for the vacuum. There are a few little flickers down here, but this has caught nearly everything. Despite the noise, this is a godsend. Seriously, get one of these things. I did see some battery operated ones from no-name brands on Amazon. Maybe they're just as good, but I imagine that you need power. I don't know. Maybe wireless is okay, but it seems like spinning that fan and making this motor work to rotate these blades back and forth. I mean, it rotates and then there's some kind of jigger. I don't know what the mechanics are of how you get a motor to make something do that. I wish I did, for fuck's sake. I feel like one sideburn is shorter than the other. I just need some kind of screen here so I can actually see the side of my face. I'll have to remember to invent that one day. Boom, bottom of the tragus, that side. Right, now, that's a pretty beefy goatee. I'll turn it into a Johnny Depp. One thing this does that my other little one doesn't do is it fucking cuts you. We saw that yesterday when I shaved an indentation into the back of my skull. Be careful. Somehow the vacuum is speeding up this whole shaving process, I think. Probably because it's almost like lack of fear that your whiskers are going to fly everywhere. I'm going to try to contour this mustache so it's less beefy. I'm gonna reconstruct this thing, but I feel like I might as well just wait until Friday when I get proper, but it's a long way away, shit. This is a pretty high hairline, but it seems kind of almost like age appropriate, but I don't know. A higher forehead kind of makes it seem like there's no way you're bald. Why would you? If you were wearing a toupee, you'd make it lower and it would look fake. This makes it seem like, well, obviously it's not bald, otherwise it would be like, how's it all the way around there? I'm sure the back of my neck needs some work. I'm feeling a lot better than when I had no hair, I can tell you that right now. And just the idea that I can have a brushed back look. You know, the great thing about a brushed back look is you're not putting leverage on the front hairline. It's locked. If you have a fringe or bangs, it's flipping around and you're flipping it all the time to get it out of your face and style it. When it's brushed back, not only do you look more debonair, but also you don't need to worry about it becoming leveraged at the front. I've got enough leverage points back here to worry about without that being a problem. I will wear a hat when I go pick up my new lens for the other glasses, which has a scratch in it. Glasses is singular, isn't it? It's weird. The glasses which has a scratch in it. My other glasses which have a scratch in them. My other glasses, one of the lenses which has a scratch in it. A lot of commas in that one. Definitely an improvement. The greys, do they blend well enough with this hairpiece to make it seem legit? It's hard for me to tell because my eyesight's so fucking bad. I need even more light. I'm kind of excited. This has been a big fucking pain in the ass to do, but I feel like it's going to be better than the front partial. And the paranoia of the bald spot here was really starting to kick in, and I didn't like that feeling. And this gives me that feeling of security. Now I feel like there is a lump here, probably exactly 7 inches from the front hairline, where there's a bulge where I think the hair wants to crown. I think that's the reason for this bulge back here. Right there, I think the hair wants to sort of starburst out from there. And that's not where my natural bald spot is. My bald spot is, I think, 8 inches from the hairline, but the hairpiece's crown is 7 inches from the hairline. So my bald spot is sitting on top of my head. Sorry, not my bald spot, my crown is sitting on top of my head. Hopefully that's just something I can keep my hair long enough to brush back at all times. So this is a 3-inch haircut on a it's a 3-inch hairpiece on a 1-inch hairstyle. I mean, it can't be 1 inch, can it? Am I just exaggerating when I say that my stubble on the side of my head is 1 inch? But you're seeing this, right? Okay, stick it out sideways. Yeah, that's 1 inch. Isn't it? Well, if that's 1 inch, How is that 3 inches? That can't be only 3 at the front anymore. Let's just measure that again. No, the front is closer to 5. Back here, I said I was going to try to do 3. And back here I've instinctively, wait. Back here it's almost like 2 back there. This hair cut needs work, I'm sure, but it looks like it's going from 2 to 5 at the front. I'm sure it's absolutely not blended properly at the back or anything. But oh shit, this is a massive improvement. I probably do have to worry about it getting messed up, and if it's not styled properly it'll look like this. But I think that's how people with real hair look if they don't do their hair, like if they get in the wind or something. Let's see how easy it is to just pat it down without looking. Let me just try to style my hair without looking. And done. No, it's messy. I look like a... Yeah, I think this is the kind of hairstyle where if I don't keep it exactly right, it'll look shit. But I do have more options. I think a better haircut might help it rest into a decent position. Right now I think it needs water so I can style it. Probably with a hairbrush. Hairbrushes are something that curly haired people don't really get to use without buffing it up. And all we're trying to do is try to make it straight, but we know we never can. Spent a fortune on hair straightening, chemical hair straightening at hairdressers over the years. It's about $300 each time you get hair chemically straightened. Obviously the back needs to be sorted out so that there's no flap at the back, because this hairpiece is too big for me. And when I take this off, I may remeasure it and may have to figure out a better way to make a stencil as well, because what I was doing with this one was placing it down and missing the front, and then I have to trust that all hairpieces will be, say for example, that exact contour, and just leave that centimeter, because this is not the true traceable hair shape, stencil shape. And neither is this. I actually do have some things to do down the street, deliveries and pickups and so on. They've accepted my refund for that Elanzi light, got my $125 back. I just have to send it back to them so I don't have any problems with Amazon, and also to be an honest person. There are a few other things obviously that I purchased that were experimental and I don't need. I've tried to keep them all in good condition. I definitely want to keep the ceiling pole, the boom arm thing that moves the camera on a stand. I would say it's, where is it? It's here, it's on the ceiling. I would say this, because of the screws loosening and becoming wonky, it's not tight enough. Once you put weight on it, it goes out to about, I think, 1 meter, maybe 75 centimeters, somewhere between those two. It's starting to strain with the weight of even this 900 gram light. So if it had a DSLR camera with some decent fat lenses on it and some attachments on the shoe, You're talking about a pretty hefty bit of weight, heavier than this, I'd say. Oh shit. So, I might try to get a refund for that as well, because that one was pretty expensive. This light, do I want to keep it or not? I haven't found an alternative method. I'm not happy with the amount of light that comes out of my phone. I don't think even iPhone 15s have a front-facing light that would still enable you to look at yourself in the viewfinder. So I need a light in order to see the front-facing part of my phone screen, which I'm probably going to continue to use. You might think I could mount a DSLR camera in this thing, but my Lumix G7 has shit, absolutely zero skill when it comes to autofocus. Like, it takes 3 or 4 seconds, if it even works at all. It's just going, just trying to find focus. Flip the camera around, I want to see myself beautiful now. With every step up in size with your camera, you're going to get a better selfie. Or when people take photos of you, you're going to look better. You're less coned out, dependent on lens size. A bigger lens is going to make you look better. Alexa, turn off the bathroom light. As you can see, more subdued light here, but I can even improve upon this again by changing the color temperature from cool to warm. Now I've got the light turned on this camera at the moment, so I'm going to turn it off. So that's about as good as I can look, I guess. With this lens on the back of the iPhone. What about if I switch to the second lens? I've got 2 lens choices. Oh, that's wide. That's, yeah, okay. So then it's probably just digital zoom, I think. It is nice to be able to zoom in and out, really, seriously. That's a great function, and that's something the Pixel 8 Pro did have. I still got to sell that phone. It dropped by $600 in price, and then it jumped back up before I got a chance to sell it, which is good. So I've still got it. I'm waiting for all the people who dropped their prices to bring their prices back up, so I have a chance of getting the full amount back, because the store wouldn't take it back for, I don't know, unless it was manufacturer broken, and I couldn't prove it was broken, and I didn't want to smash it or damage it or anything, so it's perfect condition. Yeah, so happy with the hair now. I'll work on the hairpiece. I'm going to get the rubber head, the hair stylist with the cap that doesn't warp like a swimming cap does, and also it's got some transparency to it, which is almost vital. I tried looking at condoms, nah. Weather balloons, expensive, but yeah, nah. I'm thinking these things, if you cut them and you stretch them, they'll just rip more. What I needed is something that stays conformed and yet pulls tight. I don't know if this hairstylist wig will pull tight though. I kind of needed to, so that I can pull it tight and have that hole, and then just have the perimeter, so I can just paste glue, indiscriminately, and it will never go on my hair. And also, if it's a little bit thick and latexy, I might even just be able to use the beard clippers and just go zoom, 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 zoom. And hopefully I won't go so carelessly that the blade will slip under the latex protecting area. And hopefully I'll be able to trace that well. I bought a pack of 2, so hopefully I'll get 2 chances at cutting that out nicely.